Okay. Hello, dear friends. Good evening. Such a beautiful, beautiful evening. So let's keep on reading the book. G is for the Giant's Causeway. The Irish giant, Finn McCool, never went a day to school, but he has big and strong and smart. But he was big and strong and smart. His causeway was for his sweetheart. The giant's causeway marches into the Irish Sea between Ireland and Scotland. It is made of basalt stone, shaped like hexagonal columns, set so close together that the line of them looks like a road. Geologists say the columns were caused by volcanic action. Not at all, say the Irish. The giant's causeway was the work of Finn McCool, Ireland's favorite giant. When he fell in love with a lady giant on Staffa, an island in the Hebrides, when he fell in love with a lady giant on Staffa, an island in the Hebrides, Finn built this causeway to bring her comfortably back to Ulster. A giant-sized rowboat might have worked for the two of them, but Finn was a giant who liked to make a statement, and his statement still stands. Strange and beautiful along the north coast of the Ireland, at the place where the land ends. Oh, there is a giant causeway. H is for hedge schools. Sitting here beneath the sky, sitting here beneath the sky, no roof above to keep me dry. Will you teach me how to read, please, teacher? That is all I need. H. The English penal laws of the 18th century forbade Catholics to attend Catholic worship, to purchase land, to own a house, to own a horse of greater value than £5. Wow, a horse is less than £5. Or to receive an education. Secret hedge schools sprung up. They were so called because the teacher taught illegally and dangerously under a hedge or in a barn if the weather was bad. A student would be posted on a hilltop to warn of approaching British soldiers. The schoolmasters taught reading, writing, arithmetic, and sometimes Latin. They educated the children of Ireland. To those hedge schoolmasters who, at the cost of their happiness and the risk of their lives, fed the little flame of knowledge among the hills and the glens of Ireland, Ireland can never repay her debt. Seamus McManus, The Story of Irish Race. Hedge school. Is there something of a hedge fund? Hedge fund. This may not be the same thing, right? The Irish wolfhound is the tallest of all dogs. If it stands on its back legs, it measures more than 6 feet in height. Bred in Ireland to hunt wolves and giant elk, it could be owned only by kings and noblemen. Strong and courageous, the hounds rode with their kings into battle. So revered is the wolfhound that its image has been used on famous Irish glassware, on an Irish coin, and on a postage stamp. So treasured is it that in the 17th century by law, it could not be taken out. It could not be taken out of Ireland. That law no longer applies. Wow. Wolfhound. Never heard about it. And Gettysburg. In the Gettysburg National Battlefield in Pennsylvania, there is a stone effigy of an Irish wolfhound lying at the base of a Celtic cross. It commemorates the soldiers of the Irish Brigade who died. Far from home in the American Civil War. I is for Irish wolfhound. The wolfhound is a noble dog. He will seldom gallop, prance, or jog, but strides along with steady grace, befitting his exalted place. J is for journey. The ship is waiting at the gate. I'm crying, and it's hard to see. I'm trying to smile. I try to smile. I wave my hand. Goodbye, goodbye, my Ireland. The potato was the main and sometimes only food of the Irish peasants. When blight caused the potato to rot in the fields, the people starved. The Great Famine, 1845 to 1849, caused the death of an estimated 1 million people in Ireland. Approximately another million emigrated, most of them to America. The poor and hopeless made the journey in coffin ships, so called because they were like floating coffins. Countless emigrants died or drowned in the crossing. On the night before the journey, there would be an American wake to mourn the living. A wake is held in Ireland when someone dies. The family of the emigrant knew he was gone from them forever, dying on the ship or living in a new land from which there could be no return. At dawn, on the dock, they said their final goodbyes. On the United Nations Plaza by the Hudson River in New York City, there is a sculpture of a coffin ship. It is a gift of the Irish government memorializing a sad time in Irish history. So the other day, as I was doing a blah 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 during my makeup, I talked about the Irish big potato famine. So here I would like just to narrate what I have heard from the videos and read from the internet. So the potato famine, potato came from the Andes mountain, and it's a little bit like corn, acorn, the oak tree acorn. The native indigenous people grind them, boil them, bake them, and crush them. It's a very tedious process until they make it into become their staple food. That's the Native American people, and the potato is from the Andes mountain. It's very high altitude, and nothing can grow, but potato can grow, and the potato grows actually very small. Nowadays we eat potato, we go to supermarket, there are many kinds of potatoes: russet potato, fingerling potato, cherry potato, mini potato, golden potato. I personally I do not know very much, but my family likes to eat the golden potato and the red skin potato, all kinds of potatoes. But the old potato, the original potato, was small and hard, and very hard to digest, very hard to make. It's a very long and tedious process to make it. It needs to be cold so that the bitterness get out. It's a little bit like olive. Because we plant olive, we know that the olive by itself, it's so bitter, it's not edible. So you have to soak into salt or soak in water every now and then, change almost half a month, 1 month, change water every day until the bitterness gone. Yeah, So the old potato was like that. And the Westerners, the Europeans, the great voyage, the great sailing, went to Andes Mountain, went to South America and found those, and they brought it back to UK, to Europe. And at the beginning, people do not like it because it was quite not delicious. It was not delicious at all at that time. But potato has a purple flower, so it's a little bit pretty. But later on, the government started to plant it, and there were a lot of botanists that people study about plant, about vegetation, improve it, so it eventually got improved. Okay, let's continue with this potato story. Last night, as I was doing it, my family came and for need to sleep, so I stopped. So this is morning time. The next morning, I am continue to do this video. Yeah. So we were at potato. Potato was introduced by Sir Walter Raleigh. Sir Walter Raleigh, and he was a knight or something. There was a movie actually about it, and he brought it in. Why I checked about it? Because I went to North Carolina to attend one of my YouTube friend. I really admire, a singer, a very inspiring person, beautiful couple. They got married, and I got invited, so I went there. And in the evening, I stayed at Raleigh, the city of Raleigh. And I was by myself and looking around in the downtown area. There was a coffee shop, a coffee bar actually. That was more than 6 years ago, something. And a coffee bar. And the name is Sir Walter. So I checked about it. So it's Sir Walter Raleigh. And it's the namesake of the city, Raleigh. And also, he used to be a servant for the queen, not a servant. He was just a very knightly served the king. A very interesting historical figure. So that I remember his name, and at that time I knew he was the person to introduce potato into Europe land. So Europe started to plant it, and people did not like it. And eventually, with a lot of improvement, people start to accept it. And in Ireland, which a lot of area, it's cold, it's misty. There was not a lot of sunshine, although it has water, it has green pasture, but it's just the cold weather was not so good for planting other things, or does not have that enough productivity, enough yields for the plants. So potato became something that a livestock. It's the main food resource. Main food to the degree it's the most or the only food resource. And it's nutritious, and it has a big yield, You can eat it salty, eat it sweet. You can feed the whole family. So the Irish people start to plant these, and the whole agriculture depends on it. Of course, there was still wheat production and other wheat and milk industry and sheep, mutton, all these other things, but very minimal. For the poor people, plant potatoes, and also the British has the English or the British has taken the land of Ireland. So Ireland had the people were very poor, and the people of the Irish people was regarded something like low class. It's out of religious reason, out of racial reason. I didn't go that deep. I did not know the political situation of that period. But at that time, the British was very strong. The sun never set empire, so they became the big bully, in another word, and they let the poor Irish people to plant potatoes, and potatoes was so important in their life, and they didn't expect that there was one virus spreading. It's a ship of potato from America landed in Europe, and there was blight, a kind of a virus that make the potato rot and make potato smells smell very bad. And the people planted potato, and it's about time to harvest. Then the disease start to spread out, and they pick up the potato. The potato land is just smelling like just unedible. And 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, it lasted 5 years something, and people were starving. And this time it's a big problem for the society because people are starving, no food, to the degree that about 800,000 people or 1 million people, it calculates about 1 million people has died. Irish population used to be 8 million. 8 million or 6 million. Yeah, 8 million. 1 million people died. And at this time, the British government was still taxing the milk, the wheat, and the good crop of agricultural production and farming protection to the British, the royalties, the empire. So people were dying. Irish people were dying, and the British government was not putting a work progress program that promote, like in another word, it's stimulus pack. The British government did not have the stimulus pack, but still charging tax, exporting, importing the wheat and milk and other agricultural products from the Irish. So the Irish people already starving, dying, and still they have to give their good products. So it wasn't the situation. And also the British government at that time, they use a policy of market control. And they were thinking, if we interfere, if we give them people, if we give these people food or money, the Irish people will become lazy and they will do nothing. They will rely on it. So no stimulus plan, no nothing, and still just grabbing the natural resources from the Irish people. And the British government, or at that time the ruling class, was thinking it's because Irish has too many people, and how to get rid of these people and how to get rid of this problem. Send them overseas, send them to other places, to let them immigrate to other places. So at that time, there was ships shipping the Irish people. Irish is a land, and Ireland is a land, island. So shipping the people to America. America means America and Canada. And shipping the people to Australia. And shipping the people to the UK, to England. So a huge immigration. And it's not voluntarily immigration. And the boats, the ship's situation was so bad, and the water is so dangerous, and the condition was so non-human. They call it coffin ship, because a lot of people die during their immigration, and so it's called a coffin ship. And when the people start to boat to load onto the coffin ship, the Irish have a farewell ceremony. It's the same as sending the people to death. So it was a very bad situation, very miserable situation. And I think nowadays we look back at it and we say it as a genocide because so many people died. And Irish people, the population of Ireland until today is not recovering into 1800, that period. Used to be 8 million, but now the population is still less. This has never happened in anywhere in the world. China's population, Russia's population, America's population, India population, any other country population is booming, but Irish population is never recovered. And I heard Tony Blair, the Prime Minister of UK, in his administration, he made an apology to the Irish government or people. That part I did not know very much. If you are interested, check in the historical things. And in Dublin, there is a sculpture garden that's showing the Irish famine. So that was this. And the Irish people has less people in the land, but a lot of people outside Ireland immigrated into America, into other places, is actually have more population. And another thing to say is that Irish, the Irish people has, or Ireland seems so small, but the Irish people, the influence of his culture is all over the world. And it's so deep and profound, and it's so large. And I have heard some very important people in the United States and claiming he is the Irish descendant, and talking about my mom is get things done, a tough, nuts kind of person, and just so proud of their Irish heritage. And I have met, and he's now in France. We have a meetup in France, and he's also talks so much highly about their Irish heritage and their mom, especially mom. Everyone talk about their Irish mom. There must be something magical and so tough nuts about the Irish mom. Maybe I'm not using the right word, but it's just so strong, so solid, so persistent, and so admirable, that no nonsense Irish mom. And so the Irish came to America. They get off the coffin ship and came to America, and they first went to Ellis Island to pass through the immigration to get into America. And once they passed the immigration, they came to America, ship loads, boat loads of people coming to America, and they were discriminated. Same as this problem has always happened. Irish do not apply. There are job requirements to just do not take Irish people. And if you are Irish, you do not need to think about it. And so they were discriminated. And it really makes me to think that nowadays that has never disappeared, that discrimination thing, because of their roots, because of their religion, because of their skin of color, because of their accent. People are being discriminated. But at the end of the day, we all came from the same human root. And the thing that makes us different is not how much money we have at this moment. There are not smart people from the rich, not smart people from the poor. If we value people only by the money they have, we are missing a lot. People should be guarded, should be valued for their intelligence, for their moral, for their integrity, for their quality of a human. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going too much deeper into it. So that is the Irish famine. And so potato, not only in planted in Europe, nowadays there are different kinds of potato, and this is a huge biological lesson for the whole world. You cannot depending on one thing. Nothing can be safe if you only have one solution. Now, this is also why the Europe, China, America, everyone, now if there is an import business, they diversify. The supply chain needs to be diversified. The economy needs to be diversified. Ourself needs to be diversified. If we have only one thing good, we may be lucky to live in this life with that one thing. But we do need to have a plan B. We do need to have several other ways so that we can pivot. If only one interest, you do painting, 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 for me it does not work. I have different time, different phase, different period of my life, have different interest and different inspiration and different motivation. So I need to have something that diversify. Sometimes video, sometimes painting, sometimes origami, so that you will have several things in your hand, in your toolbox to make a life livable, right? So potato was not only introduced in from South America to the Andes Mountain to Europe, and also introduced to China. And at the beginning, China did not accept it, or not so well accept it. But in Yunnan and Sichuan, that's the mountain area. And those places in the valley of the mountain is super duper hot. It's like chimney. It's like oven. Chongqing. It's very famous for being so hot in the deep valley of the mountain. But on top of the mountain, it's cold. And there is not much grass. It's rocky road. It's not a very good agricultural production, but potato can grow there. So Chongqing, Yunnan, and Guizhou in China mountain area started to plant potato. And nowadays, China is one of the biggest producer of potato, and India also have potato, and potato is all over the world now. And there are potato chips, there are potato French fries, potato fries, stewed potato, julienne potato, diced potato. Yeah, potato is actually delicious. I remember when I was young, and the potato is relatively a cheap thing, so we do stewed potato. Potato with soya sauce, and cook it for a long time with soya sauce, vinegar, onion, sugars, chili pepper, everything. And my family are not so good at cooking. We do not have some gourmet food, but there are some quite delicious food. The julienne potato, I always want to, in Chinese restaurant, every time I like to order julienne potato, very thin cut and stir-fried with vinegar. So it's crunchy and colorful, some capsicum or green red chili pepper, sometimes celery, anything you can add in to make it colorful, but mostly just very thin cut potato. And the other day I ate one biscuit. Maybe I will show you another time. Okay, another time I will show you this biscuit. They make cookies out of potato, and it's actually no flour, no wheat flour. It's just potato. And it's kind of a regenerated, reconstruct potato. It's potato mashed, completely mashed, potato mashed, and then compound them together and make into a square, and then bake it or fry it. So it's very thin, very. It's a little bit like the Italian bread, very thin bread stick, kind of thin, hard bread cakes, or lava cake, lavash cake. Lavash cake, yeah, the Mediterranean very thin cake, and make it a pita, very much like pita, but even thinner than pita, and cut into square shape. I will show you another time, and I promise, no promise, but my stomach won't. If my stomach want it, it will be a real thing. My stomach want to eat julienne potato, and I will make them the julienne potato. So that's from the Irish famine to potato to Irish famine to diversify. And also, I'm thinking, a country becomes strong is also because of its strength, because of its diversification, right? Yesterday, I went to World Cup America against Bosnia Herzegovina, and it was such a touching game, and everyone root for their team. It's majority is American. Everyone wear a USA T-shirt, and you see the people cheering for the American. There are people with all kinds of face, all kinds of shape, all kinds of skin color, all kinds of language, and you feel this country is for the land of freedom, the country for the brave, for the open heart. It's a great country. And then on the other side is the Bosnia and Herzegovina. I think Bosnia and Herzegovina, and people wearing blue and yellow, and play. They cheer for their team so passionately, and it brings me tear. At the end, America win the game, and the Bosnia Herzegovina team, they when the game finished, the soccer players stand in the middle of the soccer field. La cancha or something. La cancha something. Stand on the ground, on the field, and bow to the section of their fans. It brings me tear. It is a small country. I know I do not know the place of this place. I need to search online, to search map, to find their country. And a small country, much smaller size than America, and have this tenacity, have this courage to fight, and have these passionate people rooting for them. It's the most beautiful thing. It's most beautiful thing. And I know there were there were reporter that saying something not so friendly to it. It is a fact. Maybe we do not know another country, but it's in the way we speak it. It's nothing wrong to admit that you do not know that place, you do not know that people, but the way you talk it is the key. People all over the world are proud of their own root. Irish people are proud of their own root, no matter they live in Canada, in America, in UK, in New Zealand, in Australia. They are proud of their root. Chinese are proud of their root. Indian are proud of their root. American are proud of their root. Everyone has the right to be proud of their root. That is something must be in the gene, must be in our DNA. Anyway, that's from the potato to famine to the world to humanity. A little bit too big, beyond my capacity to talk. Yeah, and World Cup is wonderful. I went 2 games. One is Turkey, so I went to the 2 World Cup games. Because we are living nearby, we can almost walking to the stadium. It takes 1 or 2 hours to walk. So we took our car and park in the street and then walk for 20 minutes. So the total is drive 10 minutes, 20 minutes, walk 20 minutes. So something like it. And it was a wonderful game, wonderful game. And you see the Turkey rooting for their country, the Paraguay rooting for their country, the USA rooting for their country, Bosnia, Herzegovina rooting for their country. And on my way back home, last night we saw the game, USA against Bosnia and Herzegovina, I think. And I saw one old gentleman sitting there wearing the Bosnia-Herzegovina jersey. Yeah, he looks like Tesla. He looks very much like Nikola Tesla. Serbia, Bosnia, all those areas, Montenegro, those area people. Yeah. The world. It's better to have a game, a word game. World Cup brings the whole world together. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Bye-bye, friends. I love you. I really do. Do. Gulu gulu. Bye. Bye.